Good morning and welcome to today's live stream. Yesterday we did get a solid green day, which the VIX was actually calling, and now the VIX is not as elevated as it could be, but we want to pay attention if that 30-minute crosses up. Something to note about today is we have updated monthly expected moves. I'm going to put those monthly expected moves in the bottom right corner for most of the first part of this video, okay? So we're going to put that in the bottom right corner for the first bit of this video, probably at least until maybe 30 minutes after the open. That way we give it a solid amount of time. But remember, what are we paying attention to according to last night's video? Well, does the 2-hour confirm up, or are we going to go down for the double dip? Are we going to see the 2-hour rip? And then are we still going to be aware of a trap? Yes, we are, because we're always the skeptical guy. But are we going to see the double dip? And I think that's overall what we're looking for here. I think we do have the opportunity, and the most likely thing is, as we are still negative, and have no real reversal signals that have confirmed, right? If that 2-hour confirms, it starts to look a little different, but we could see upside into more downside, sweeping this low one more time. We'll have to find out. Remember that if this does turn down, that looks a little risky to the downside, so just be sure that this is confirming back up. And if anyone has some trades that they need to manage, hey, that would be a moment where you might need to be thinking about that decision making, right? How do you want to trade like water? What's your plan for if it goes wrong? Right, if I'm going to get in early at the lows, I got to have a plan, as getting in early at lows can be the riskier thing to do, which is perfectly fine. It's just the amount of risk you want to assume, right? Everyone's different. Today, we do notice some interesting things coming out this morning. We do get economic data. We will get the JOLTS job openings 30 minutes after the open, and the ISM manufacturing PMI. Looks like the manufacturing PMI is supposed to come in kind of at the previous, right around that 50 level. So not too much of a difference there. We'll see if there's a surprise there. But the JOLTS job openings, I think people are paying attention to jobs data. Previous coming in at 7.74 million. The new reading is supposed to come in around 7.6 million. So a slight downturn there is what's being estimated for the JOLTS job openings. Looking over at the strikes for today, right? We want to go look at some of those strikes for today to see what's going on out there. And we see a huge amount of open interest at 550. If you want me to pull this over to the screen real quick, we see, boom, 550. So that means we have one true level to pay attention to. Yeah, we have a smaller one at 545. We'll still look into that one. Remember how 545 and 550 were pretty important. And then to the upside, we just see this slight uptick at, look at that, 584 again, same as last week. So today kind of adding up to a lot of the behavior of last week, 550, 545, and 584. So we see that the important area is right in here, right? We marked this off during the last live show. This is a very important area. And you see how even if we wanted to flush for the entire month, people are only estimating, right, at least pricing in that the expected area to get to would be 530, right around that 530. But as you get down to 530, you start to lose key levels, right? You're losing this key level here. So I really don't think we want to head past those levels unless it's some kind of trap. We'll be watching. But right now, once again, the most likely scenario for the day is, well, you're going to see if that 30-minute turns down and actually creates a reversal signal, or the slightly less likely scenario would be just a V shape. But you do have the gears for it. You have swept the low. You can come down and make something like this right over here, but you could also see the 2-hour chart just turn up, right? What we'll more so be paying attention to is just remember that there is risk while this is heading down, that it might never turn back up, right? So if you have shorter expiration, you're not confident, and this wasn't part of your plan to go down this low, well, then a great thing to do would look for rejection to see if at least you're going to get a retest of that bottom side daily expected move. Once you break that, ooh, it's very likely to take out this logo, make a new one. We'll be looking for divergence. How's everyone doing this morning? I hope everyone's good. Hopefully Patreon members are getting the monthly expected moves on their chart. All right, good morning, Bernie. Good morning, Florida, Texas guy. Is the MOAS today next level? Well, I think that we have good potential here for this to be a moment to pay attention, right? We have a daily signal. We came down to the lows, and this is why I think we might see a rip together type of thing. We'll have to find out. There is a chance that GME heads lower. They have monthly expected moves lower, but GME seeing some upside as of right now. Well, I think even the SPY and the Qs are technically negative right now, so we'll have to see. But this is a great sign. What I'd be looking at is the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart confirms, hey, look, you got potential for a double bottom, right? The sneaky gap down here, the big gap up with the earnings, everyone gets really bullish and nothing bad can happen to the stock. Then the next day, something bad happens to the stock and something really bad happens. And then everyone gets really, really bearish and then the stock starts to bounce, right? This is why being that guy in the middle is just a good thing. We did update the level for you. 27 is all you got to get through to really start to see something crazy, right? This is where unexpected things happen. And so a squeeze is always going to be a lower percentage unexpected thing. If you really think about some kind of MOAS type of squeeze, right? You asked about MOAS. MOAS technically would only have about even if you're really getting technical with it, MOAS would be a 2.5% chance to happen with perfect signals at perfect timing with a good earnings, right? So you have those things right now, okay? You had a great earnings. Hey, right? People really like that earnings, and that's why I think that this is kind of fake. And then you can just look at the short sale volume to see, okay, that's most likely just being the stock being fought. And then you come down to lower levels, but you actually make a good signal after maybe a fake out kind of move. So if this turns up, I'd be watching because that's going to go into positive territory. And if it goes into positive territory and really gets going, man, you got to take out this level up here, but really just 24, 27 for the week. If you want the monthly expected move to see what you need to get out of to actually get outside of like a monthly expected move, right? Go into that crazy area for the month, you most likely will need to see that. So it can give you, this is kind of like this. This is how this goes with this, right? MOAS and things like that. If you're going to see MOAS in 1 week, like, right, just this week, you're going to see all of it happen, then this is pretty important. But what's more important is the monthly expected move and where that is sitting. That's going to be more important because that is a sustainable thing, right? A week will end on Friday, but if you're going into the 1st of April today and say a squeeze started, that could last for a few weeks, right? We could see some decent upside from that. Now, is a short squeeze always, once again, is the short squeeze, is a MOAS always like, is it ever a high probability thing? No, but you do get hints, right? We look for hints that show when something crazy is more likely to happen. It is still, according to the options market and the data we use, a low percentage chance, but with the right recipe, you can find those moments where taking the risk makes sense. And this is exactly what we are doing with the SPY. So really, to explain GME, all you have to do is look at the SPY and be like, why do we think MOAS, or well, not MOAS, but why do we think a short squeeze could come in the SPY? And what do we talk about here? Well, we talk about a squeeze can take you outside of a monthly expected move. And that's why GME paying attention to a monthly expected move is probably a better thing than paying attention to the weekly. But I just like to give people the weekly level in case they have very short-term options and they know now, okay, we need to potentially look at this level seriously, right? The reason that I give out this purple line every week is so that level-headed guy can make a decision here, right? He sees something really good, but he has access to this data, right? He has this purple line that was right up here last week. And so he makes the decision of, hey, do I want to be smart with this? Do I want to YOLO this? Am I using an amount of money that hurts me if I YOLO this? Okay, if I'm using an amount of money that's a little larger than I would like and it's making me uncomfortable, okay, I could sell half, right? And then leave the rest in case it runs. And guess what? That person probably still made money here if they sold half and then saw this and they go, woo, called that one, right? They made the right decision for them, and that's big. You might have said, hey, that's enough money for me this week. It's at a weekly expected move. I'm taking all of my risk out. You might have said, okay, I'm going to hedge in this area with just a few contracts for Friday. And guess what? That hedge would have printed. So there's multiple ways to do this. The weekly expected move, the reason I give it out is so that people with shorter term options can understand, like, hey, if you're hitting this line and it's Thursday and you're like, yeah, it still could happen a little bit more on Friday, still taking it off the table if you're really profitable or anything like that, and then leaving runners can be a decision that needs to be made. And that's up to each individual person and the risk that they want to take off and the risk that they want to put on, right? The risk that they want to keep, the risk that they want to get rid of. But SPY is just a blatant representation of what we're talking about with GME, which is technically, a squeeze would be unexpected. But when we see things that point towards squeeze, right? Here, let's do a daily. When we see things that point towards squeeze, right? We have hints. This was not likely to happen at this time. You had a monthly, I think we actually had a chance. I'll take a look and see if we had a weekly or monthly expected move here. But notice you gap above this area. That most likely was a monthly or weekly expected move. That's what happens a lot of the time, actually. It's very interesting. Sometimes you just blow through it. Sometimes you gap above it. It's very cool. But look at the hint. This was very unexpected, right? I can tell you that was very unexpected, right? We know that that was not in the 68% zone, towards the end of November, right? This was this was October 31st. So this is where it started. And then it ended all the way up to November 30th, right in these areas. Yeah, your monthly is not going to price in a 12% move a lot of the time. Notice that this monthly expected move, even with the volatility, it's technically only pricing in 4.88%, right? That's a very regular monthly expected move. So there are hints, and that's why you seriously want to be paying attention to this if it fails or if it goes up, because if it fails, all of that energy might be distributed down. But this is a great sign that this is not some kind of trick at this point. All right, it still can be, but it's a good sign. I'm not going to say it makes it more probable, but it's a good sign, right? This is completely, if we would have saw this, wouldn't you be a little bit more like, oh yeah, this ain't going to happen. Yeah, we're not going to, we're a little less likely to squeeze. Then you see this and you go, oh wait, that looks like a trick. Maybe we are, Buy the news type of event. Yeah, I think you could say that. Because you've been selling the rumors that it's bad, or well, not really rumors. You've been selling the headlines and things like that. You've been really selling off based on, the craziness with tariffs. And I don't think they're unjustified. I think they are, the way to put it is, I think they are justified to have the reasoning. I'm just saying a lot of the time that I've paid attention, especially to bear markets, this type of stuff happens all the time in bear markets. We could go through all of the SPY during a bear market and go through all of the mentality during that I was able to witness firsthand and watch people lose their mind. Every time they lost their mind like this, we ended up curling up on a daily. We saw a few tricks to the downside. We curl up on the daily. And then it rips so fast that people are like, it has to come down. So they short it. And then it just goes ballistic. If it's in the press, it's in the price. Our boy FX Evolution. What a guy. We like that guy. I didn't even look at his video, but he did pop up on my feed this morning, and I saw his thumbnail, and it showed a dark pool trade towards the lows. And if you've looked at that stuff enough, you know that dark pool trades up here are usually this, and dark pool trades down here are usually this. But, in this scenario, they could know something we don't. Was it the highest of the month? I didn't look at the video. I'm sorry, Richard. My wife wanted to watch this movie because she read the book It Ends With Us. So I had to watch that, and it was a little painful. I'm not going to lie. That Blake Lively, oh my God. It was terrible acting for the first hour and a half. The end of the movie kind of saved it. My God, I didn't know there was so much drama behind that movie too. It Ends With Us. It's a great, my wife said it's a great book, but it's kind of one of those sexy woman, abuse. It has to do with that kind of stuff. Domestic violence. It's actually a good story. I think it is. I just don't think they executed the first part of the movie well at all. Good luck to all the Bulls. Bad luck to the Bears. Aaron's just like, yeah, I don't like you guys. Yo, wait, question for the chat. Your daughters love the books? Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. She read all of them in the last, she read all of them in about 10 days. She kind of got into it. I was like, damn. Off to a meeting, be back in 30 or so. Richard, have a good meeting, all right, buddy? We'll see you in a little bit. Now we just sit here and hang out. What's Rajiv saying? Good luck, everyone. Though we shouldn't need luck. Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's okay to wish good luck. Happy new month. Hopefully you guys have your monthly expected moves on the charts that you are paying attention to. We do have the free monthly expected moves that we give away here on YouTube. for the SPY, SPX, and the QQQ. Like liveliest drama. Do we have daily for SPY today? We do. They're right here. They're right on your screen. I just want to leave the monthly expected moves up for a bit here. All right. I just want to leave it so, people who access the video late can get those monthly expected moves, Robert. But the daily expected moves here for the SPY, 565.11 in red, 553.67 in red. Side. Luck is always in the shadow of fortune. What the fuck just happened? I just heard like 8 different noises, and now they're connected, I guess. Thank you for the monthly expected moves. You're welcome, Haran, okay? All right, Robert. Yeah, and then if you need the cues, we're gonna replace the monthlies in 30 minutes. We're gonna replace the monthlies with the dailies. So make sure that you have those on your chart. Actually, I might just open up the screen today. I kind of want to open up the screen today. So if you need the cues, we can flash over to it. Okay, to show you those daily expected moves, and we'll do that now. Why don't we do that at the open? That way you guys can see it, because the cues are very cool here. I would be super interested to see if the Qs go down to a weekly expected move, and then the SPY actually just goes to like 545, and we don't get all the way there. I think that'd be great. But notice that 5-day catching up, so just be aware of that. Okay, so for the Qs, you have 575.53. I did have some problems with my spreadsheet, so I'm going to double check those. 575.53 and 575. 475.53. Can I speak today? And 462.31 to the downside. Okay, those are correct. Can't believe I just said that the Qs are at 575. That might have scared some people. Market just opened. Good luck, friends. Fred says good luck. And he says, treat the market as if it's a hazard. Who likes Hazard? I never liked that player that much, but he's a little guy, and damn, that guy's quick. He's quality, but I just never could get into him. Like, the play style too much. But he's very good. I already bought 575 Q calls. Oh, shoot. My bad, Wall Street Ponzi. I shouted that out wrong. Yeah, we'll see. And like we could even do this type of thing, look at the 5 minutes, see if we get a hint. We don't get any hint from this 5 minutes. So usually if you're not seeing any divergence like on the MACD for a 5 minute, which we do see slight, very slight here at these highs. So very slight. Usually you will see it nice and wavy, right? You'll get that trap at the 5-day. So it would be interesting to kind of fool around in the morning, see something go up, then pearl down. We'll have to find out. But we don't really see big reasons that the 5 minute could give us a hint here. So 30-minute chart would be the one to be watching. 30-minute, and then if we start to head up dramatically for an hour, I want to pull up that 2 hour and see if it's crossing. Wall Street scared me for a sec. I was like, whoa, that's a YOLO. The thing is, that could end up making money. Like, if this thing squeezes, that thing would, holy crap. Oh, let's go, Short Fridays. Let's hear that prediction. I'm pumped. Like, the funny thing is, if you squeeze on the Qs by, say, 10%, someone out there is going to reach up for 575 or something, That's the funny part. It's kind of like trading is just selling something that someone sees as more valuable. It doesn't really matter if you're above or below the price, really. After hours today or pre-market tomorrow morning, GME will release a big news story. But I am not a cat either. Really? We have Short Fridays. Why does my mic go to red sometimes? I don't like this. It's not supposed to. Let's tone this down just a tiny bit. I think you're right. I think we're about to see what's in the box soon. Now, I think that could more so be around. Okay, did you guys see this, by the way? You GME tin hat people. Do we have any tinfoil hat people? Because I'm not really into the tin that much, right? I haven't even watched my boy lottery stocks in a while. Let the bull and bear match begin. I like it, Steve-O. That's exactly what you have here. Ooh, me. Okay, Short Fridays. Can I bring something to your attention and see what you think about it? I want to show you this tweet. Where is it? Let's see. I want you to see this tweet. I saw this. This was the first thing that was popping in my feed, and a lot of people were doing it. And also, he said Twitter. Like, what the heck? All right, look at this. Greg has peacefully passed away in his sleep tonight. We will be shutting down his Twitter account in 3 days. Please respect our privacy during this difficult time. One, it's April Fool's. Don't fall for things. But two, does that mean something? Right? I wonder if people are like reading into it like in 3 days. Everyone's thinking it's April Fool's, and I'm like, what if it does go away? I just want to see if you had any tinfoil hat stuff. Looking good. Hopefully we're prepared for the double dips, and we have the mentality of we're already prepared for it, right? We know this can easily happen for the Qs. Remember to get those daily expected moves on because we are about to switch back over to the SPY. 475, not 575. 475.53 to the upside, 462.31 to the downside. SPY here, a little more on the struggle bus, it seems. We'll see. Recession coming. The thing about recession is the stock market does not tell you when you're in recession. If you're in recession, you're going to feel it in your wallet. You've potentially been in recession for a while. Do you have more credit card debt than you did 4 or 5 years ago? Or say not COVID. Let's not include COVID. Let's do since 2022, do you have more debt? Since 2022, is it harder to pay your bills? Since 2022, have you seen more friends getting laid off? Since 2020, since 2022, are your friends talking about buying big vehicles on credit instead of putting big down payments? Those are usually signals. If you guys want some funny signals, go look for if diapers, right? Some poopy diapies. Go look if diapers are, right? Go look if some diapers, if people are buying less diapers for their kids. Because when people start to struggle with money and you're potentially in recession, in the actual economy is real people, right? This could be the moment where the economy is boosted up by debt at the end as people pile on credit and start to default on things, right? But there are certain indicators that are out there that say, okay, well, if parents are keeping their kid in a poopy diaper for an extra couple hours a day, that's usually a recession sign, right? There's little weird things like that. And it's pretty cool, actually. I think it's interesting. I do not do that. I would never do that to my baby girl. I would never do that to her. CSAI halted up 51%. Holy crap. Let's go look. CSAI. What did this thing do? Is that an earnings? Is this an IP? No, it's not an IPO, is it? Might have been. Okay. Wow. Okay. Getting a wick to come in. Is it halted right now? Yeah, it's just sitting at 605. This thing would be moving. So what kind of halt was it? Let me pull up halts. Make sure it's just the crazy move halt. Let's see. Oh, that's that bull bear survey. My bad. Wrong one. US Fear Group. Where the fuck is my? Okay, there it is. Alerts. CSAI Cloud Structure Inc. LUDP. Okay, LUDP. So LUDP is the sporadic move halt. So now you're going to potentially watch this. You guys want to do something fun? I think that when this thing does open up again, sorry, a plane went by. When this thing does open up again, you're very likely to see a gap because no one's supposed to be able to trade this. It is halted, but I see it all the time where something like this happens and then you get a big gap down or a gap up, right? Buyers win, sellers win, right? It's just the people that are pretty much illegally trading the stock at right now, do they actually see more buyers show up or sellers? Where was I going to look for this? CSAI, that's right. I wanted to go look on my other chart real quick. Amazon with a nice snapback so far. CSAI short. Let's see if the short sale volume is increasing. And now the short sale volume the short sale volume's super low right now. Super low. So this will cause a reaction. Then tomorrow, if you see this drop down all of a sudden, you're going to probably see a huge spike in the short sale volume. If you see it gap up, you could actually see a huge spike in the short sale volume. But the way that it kind of dictates is that could be someone closing a short position. But it doesn't seem to have a big short seller problem by any means. Very nice. Oh my gosh, you guys. Nvidia, man. You just look at the Nvidia chart on the daily and you're just going, wow, if this thing could produce a curve up on the MACD, if this thing could launch higher and get past these levels, 121, 50, 122, 123. I'd say 123. Oh man, this thing can really start to rip. Maybe 130, you see a little pullback, right? Because I believe, when does earnings come up? Not till May. Okay. So we could see that rip before earnings and then see earnings as a struggle or earnings as a good thing. The thing is, earnings could potentially be okay because businesses are going to spend money buying things and purchasing things, and even individual people might purchase things early in fear of tariffs increasing prices. So weirdly enough, even though all this bad stuff's happening, you could see a good earnings because people are trying to buy things before a tariff hits. Very interesting, but all right. Looks like Amazon about to flip back to positive. Very nice. We'll still see if it's going to fill that gap. Oh my gosh. If you are part of Patreon, I got a bunch of notifications about CSAI. I will check on it over here real quick. CSAI. Just got the ding, ding, ding in my head. Looks like it has just been halted again. Really? So right when the halt was about to be off, they turn it right back on right before it's able to see any price action. I think halts are scummy, personally. I do not believe we should mess with markets. I think we should allow the buying and selling dictate how high or low a stock should go. You still think Amazon will pull back deep? I think it could. I think you're always aware of it. As long as this is still even near this center line, right? As long as this is even here, I will still be looking for that curve down. Now, by that point, if it's a strong move, that could just retest something and turn back up, right? High or low. But you want to be aware if it stays gradual and it's less up like this and more of like an elongated, right? If it's more like this, that tells you a lot about the MACD, right? The MACD is very like just long, goes positive, shifts down, right? That could look a lot like this. So we'll see. But I'd just be open to it. Be very open to it. And if you need to react, react. That's how it works. If your plan gets violated, all right, then you have to react. And then you have to have your plan for maybe even having a plan to get back in. What do you think will happen to Nvidia today? Today, that's up to the price action, right? What do I think would happen? I will go with the most probable thing based on all of my analysis for years. I will go with a reversal signal would be better here, right? V shape is very hard to see coming. Maybe that dark pool that FX put out there, we can read into a little bit, but he doesn't know if that's a buy or a sell. So if we get that flash move down and then we produce up, that would be the most probable thing for Nvidia, create a reversal signal. Notice that we created reversal signal here by doing that, right? We created the divergence. So that is the more probable thing to do. Get the double dip while people see this as super bullish. Unless they're super bearish right now, then you could potentially V-shape with good news. If it broke out of 28, then you are, looking at the big battle between the bulls and the bears there, just so you're aware. Jun, if you get a GME to 28, you are looking at a battle there between the bulls and the bears. Now, that battle could be brief, and a lot of the time it is brief, okay? A lot of the time, once you get elevated past, say, a monthly expected move, or more so a weekly expected move, by the time if you just rip early on to a monthly expected move, you still want to treat it seriously, but by that point, people are very taken off guard. So hard to say, but that's where a battle between bulls and bears would be between 27 and 28. I'm going to leave you guys just for a second. I got to use the restroom real quick. My coffee's running through me. I'll be right back. Get those monthly moves on your chart, okay? January 2018 tariffs as a case study. I did see I didn't watch anyone's videos really, but I did see who mentioned that? Who mentioned that? It was in at least it was in the thumbnail of someone that I know. Let me go pee. I'm just distracted. So I'll answer when I get back, Angus, and I'll try to look on my phone to see who said it. Okay? Be right back. Okay, I peed as fast as possible. It was Ron Walker. I had to go look. But I don't like comparing too much to the past. The only times, crash signals and things like that, those things do form in similar ways. You don't want to act like it's going to be exactly the same. The times that I more so am looking at the past is just to prove how a signal played out, right? That's why I keep pointing out down here. I'm more so proving how a signal like this can behave, but they could behave totally different. I shouldn't have ran. I need to do cardio. I need to do cardio so bad. I'll leave these on actually. But I think you're right to point it out. I think he might be okay to point it out, and that could be the scenario you're in. But does that mean it has to be the same? Right? Nothing in the market has to be exactly the same as the last time. A lot of the time it's like what? Well, it rhymes, right? That's the way to phrase it. It rhymes. Adam Aaron tweeted a lot of good news. Did they 36. Let's see if your boy over here was unhalted real quick. It was unhalted. It did not get the gap down, so that's very, very nice. Adam Aaron tweeted some good stuff. I don't know. I don't even think I follow that dude. Adam Aaron, what did he tweet? As a large AMC shareholder, I too have felt the anguish caused by our falling share price in recent years. Have you? You've been paid millions of dollars. I don't like this type of talk, really. I don't like the sympathy to regular people when you make a ton of money right now. Like I don't like that sympathy that I'm in the same game as you. I don't like that. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not calling him out specifically. I think rich people do that all the time of like, I feel the pain. The people who are richest in hard times are the rich. Like they get richer in hard times. You can ask anyone, go look at the Great Depression. Anyone who was rich before the Great Depression had the best life during the Depression, just so you are aware. And therefore, I understand why you would be distraught if my salary was $23 million per year. Except that it isn't. Here are the facts. Okay, let's look. Let's see if he shapes my mind. I'm dead. Oh, fudge. I'll have to read that another time, but I will read this. I will read this because he's bringing in his salary. And that's exactly what I just brought up. So I hope he smacks me in the face for bringing it up. I think that's fine. If you have a summary for me, a quick summary, that would be great. Whatever, Richard. Where do you think SoFi could end up? Today? I mean, it's kind of like the other ones, right? If the actually though, I mean, at least you have a divergence on the MACD, not on the RSI. If the 2 hour is able to confirm up, that'd be good. You're still looking like potential for higher. I really think you might want to sweep that low though. I'm not going to trust this until it's fully confirmed up on a 2 hour, and I would say above the 5. I'm not going to trust that. A lot of these things will have to confirm above the 5. So what you're looking for is maybe the sweep of this low. So I'd look for some kind of reaction. This would be the more likely case. But if the job is done and people are bearish enough here, and you see the opposite reaction, just be prepared for that 2 hour to cross up. I just think this would be, as this is negative, there's no divergence, right? I think that would be more probable. You'll even notice here, the RSI, you at least made something, right? And then from the past, you're still holding the point, right? Which is great. Right now, you just have pretty much this. Like this is right here. I know it's flat here, but just be aware that can happen, right? You can see some kind of little flash sell to convince you to get nice and bearish. So a weekly expected move is what I'd be watching for. The price of the weekly expected move is going to be great here. And then if you curl up on a 2 hour, hey, look for the gap fill potentially at 13. BTC looking great. Yeah, Bitcoin seeing some positivity today. This is actually really good because Bitcoin gave us the divergences, right? This is important. Even Bitcoin gave us the divergence. And what is a 2 hour for Bitcoin? That's like a 30-minute for the stocks that we like to cover. So Bitcoin made the divergence, right? Right? So wouldn't it make total sense if we go and make a divergence, right? We usually are a little lagging behind or ahead of Bitcoin, and it looks like right now, as it's taking back the 5, we might be lagging behind it. So who's to say that this 30-minute can't dip down real quick? And maybe Bitcoin pulls back with it. We'll have to see. But Bitcoin, good stuff. Divergences all around. We'll have to see. But Nicholas, I'm sure you're liking that little look, huh? Apple's always crazy and unpredictable. Yeah, pretty much. The important thing is, does Apple blow out these areas up here? It needs to blow out these areas here. 2 hour, I believe, crossed down, right? So you're looking for that 2 hour confirmation. So you're just looking for 2 hour to confirm up. Watch out for traps. Watch out for weekly expected moves for risk for the week, because we are still only on Tuesday. Unless we get that great news and people really see it as great news, then I would still be paying attention to this if we just get a random kind of move and people celebrate something too early and then we just turn right back off it. Once you get to here, it's starting to lean more towards pullbacks, I believe, though. I think that 30-minute would be pretty damn positive. I just do little weird things to see how positive it would be. It would be in the, yeah, it would start to get to that not so worrisome area. In negative territory. Is this still bearish? What I like to say is it's a contrarian bullish signal. That's how I like to phrase it, Angus. When it curls down, now I don't say that very often because it's like hard in my head to just say that phrase all the time. But the way you want to treat this is kind of like a contrarian bullish signal, right? Now, what's a better contrarian bullish signal? Well, an hourly chart that shows divergence, right? This is a very more bullish contrarian signal. You would say, yeah, this is a bounce, is what you'd overall say. This has the chance to reverse around, right? Now, this has a chance to reverse around, but more of the time it is a bounce for a double dip. It doesn't mean it has to be this time, right? But a lot of the time you do this. So contrarian bull signal is what I would say. But if you look at a 30-minute and that crosses down, it's immediately bearish. How's the VIX doing? VIX isn't even curling up. It's actually curling down, suggesting, well, it is, I'm sorry about that. It is curled up. I was looking at this morning because we were paying attention to this. So this is one of the first things I checked this morning to see if VIX was elevated and we were down, to see if a divergence pops up. We don't see that, right? But the 2 hour, you see that it's crossing down, but it's overall on positive. Actually, now it's on negative bars. So now you have a cross down of the 2 hour just a little bit ago. So weirdly enough, VIX is pointing kind of like, hey, the 2 hour is crossing down. This might be a little ABC thing here, right? But we'll retest 20. What did we say in last night's video? The first thing you want to do, close below 20. The second thing you want to do, close below the 50-day moving average, right? That purple line right here. And then the last thing would be close below the 200. And that would really start to point the probabilities that a squeeze is very possible. But you notice this morning, look at the PCC coming in at 0.74. So that isn't necessarily a bearish sign, but if they were trying to manipulate people to get more towards the bearish side, more towards the short side, more towards puts, then this would be what they want. They want people getting calls as we approach the 5, and then we turn down one more time. People need to give up hope is what I'm overall thinking. Lower high on VIX, exactly. Yep. So if the daily rejects there and the 2 hours crossing down, it's really saying lower high. It means watch out. We can get good news if people are still saying bearish things. But even that good news could make this happen and people see it's actually bad news, and then it whips back up. Happens all the time, right? The big thing is price action, right? That's why you don't hear me even paying attention much to news. Usually I see a reaction in this. Someone who knows more than me is going to bet their money early, and then I'm going to see momentum turn up, and then you're going to get good news. That happens a lot of the time is what I would say. JOLTS coming up in 5 minutes. We will take a look at that in a moment. We'll just briefly shout out the numbers, but the main thing is how do people react, right? I can read into it and say it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. But I need to make sure to actually see how money is moving in the chart. Looks like I'm getting a bunch of things here, a bunch of halts. I'm going to turn this off because it keeps beeping in my ear, so I'm going to get out of this in a sec. MLGO got halted this morning. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to pull up some other charts over here, make sure the chat's up so I can read what you guys are saying. Let me pull this over. Okay, good. CSAI is actually turning back in the upward direction for you. Very nice. You really want the 30 minutes to remain positive. If the 30 minutes starts to curl down, that's where more pullback or bad things can start to happen. Let me go look at, where the frick is it? Ooh, GME was up, now turning back down. Still up 1%. Target is number 1. 5-year return. Celsius holding is 3. Anyone paying attention to long-term investing side? Celsius holding is number 3. Mag 7. I'll go check Mags real quick. Mags is in the same boat. Same boat as everything. Is just look for the 30-minute divergence. Shut up, Dubs. What's the ticker? 1,000% in a day? Where's the halt? And Max? I'll look on my other screen real quick. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. Look at that chart. That's wild. Think about IPOs is sometimes they open to here and go there. I think funny enough for IPOs it's just like, is it below $20? If it's below $20, then options will think it's cheap. So that's pretty crazy. I would look for 5-minute divergences and things like that. That's wild. Congratulations if you just hopped into that. My goodness, you just, that's a 10xer easy right there. And if you had an option with it, I don't know if they do options for it, but my gosh. That would be 10x. That would turn it into 1,000x, I think, if you had an option there. That's wild. Anyway, yeah, we just got to kind of chill for now. The fact that we're not seeing upside, the fact that we're just holding flat. Remember that sometimes they hold it flat here for a lot of the day and then see how people position. I would just pay attention to how people position. One thing I wanted to note about today is we have some serious tornadoes, apparently tornado storms that are coming today. So just be aware of that. I will most likely be able to go live. I don't think it's going to hit by then, but just in case you don't hear from me and we're not live over on Rumble for the closing stream for the power hour, if you guys want to join, Rumble link's down there in the description. Yeah, just so you are aware, we might not be able to do a YouTube video tonight. I'm going to try my best, okay? Yeah, thankfully we have a concrete basement, which is why you guys used to hear echoing all the time if you ever hear echoing. Data incoming in about, what, 30 seconds. RSLS halted twice now too. Yeah, I was just looking at the halts. If you guys want to see halts, do you guys want a link for, or at least if anyone wants to pay attention to halts, if you guys like to do that? I mean, I just go look at it. I think it's interesting. I use stockninja.io. It's just this little here, and it'll beep in your ear when that happens. Stock Ninja. It's very good. It's just simple. I think it's interesting, so I do. So what happened here? Did AMC get butchered? Yeah, AMC getting kind of fudged up here. Let's see. Let's see if some short sale volume increased here. Oh, and then I wanted to show you something because we talked about, you could potentially, most of the time, the market is very late to react to recession. It's one of the lagging indicators of lagging indicators. But if a recession turns into a serious one, then it starts to get a little different, right? You're in recession and then it gets worse. Which I think you're seeing signs of that. It's just people still have credit card stuff. AMC actually turned down on the AMC short sale volume. And then what is it? It's delinquency. Delinquency. Labs 100 DMMA. Is this mortgage? Okay, mortgages. No. What the heck was it? Let me go look. I saw someone post that. Oh my gosh. Okay, here it is. What is it? Okay. No, god dang it. Oh, I can't look at it. Oh, that's lame. Those aren't even like crazy. 6.1 million Americans are behind on their mortgage. And there's a chart I wanted to find for it, but people being behind on their mortgage is usually a big sign. People are starting to lose out on money. I bet a lot of people are hoping to get rich in the stock market instead of paying their thing and probably taking on debt to do it. All right, let's take a poll today. Let's do a different kind of poll today, all right? Let's do this. Do we solidify a bottom today or crash? Right? That's too sparing. That's too sparing. Let's see if we just solidify a bottom today, okay? Let's see what you guys think. All right. And let's go check on the data that came out a few minutes ago. ISM manufacturing PMI comes down to 49, expected to be 49.5 or 50. JOLTS job openings went down, supposed to come down to 7.63 or 7.6 million, went down to 7.568. So now we have something to read into and just look into the price action, right? The price action is still the most important. Get this off of my damn chat, dude. I want to read you guys stuff. The heck? Muted. Well, I think people more care about the tariff talk than data right now. Tariff is really taking over the narrative. I bought 2 Newsmax, my daily gamble. Well, it's up 1,000%. The market will crash as much as I don't like losing money. I could get stocks on discount later when it will skyrocket. We eating good. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad way to think about things, though. What? What are you guys talking about? Who? What's this? Don't say the bad word. Oh, tariff. Maybe if I say wait, what's the Willow indicator saying this morning? That's what's important. I think yesterday, yeah, he had. I think the Willow indicator was suggesting calls, which we know what that means. God, I love Willow that he steered into that. I think it's fantastic. You're a good man, Willow. All right, Nvidia. Nvidia is really starting to turn a little bit down here. See if it takes out that wick. Here we go. Come on, show us something. Look at this shift. Look at that big ass shift. Now, sometimes this can be an indication that we could still see more bounce, right? People shifting to the call side. These are the people who would be trapped right now. We'll be watching. Why am I so? I feel like I'm sleepy today. I don't like it. Sometimes when I drink coffee because I have ADHD, it has the opposite effect, and that's a bummer. I woke up early today. Early. Had a coffee ready for wifey and had a milky ready for baby girl right when they woke up, and they both were like, "Oh, thank you." Microsoft is going. Snow on the strong side broke the EMAs. I'd really look for if something's confirming on a 2-hour. So let's go look at Microsoft for a moment here. It's just not confirming on a 2-hour. Yeah, you still need more time. What likes to curl up 2-hour charts, guys? 30-minute divergence. Doesn't have to happen. Tesla. Let's see if that can do something. Yeah, no real good thing. No real good hint there for our 5-minute, unfortunately. You just see a very similar look, so there we go. There we go. Okay. All right, the most probable thing for the day. We'll see if that takes place. Gotta get this up. What am I doing? Get this hat in my hat spot. Right back over 40. Has the rotation in dividend stocks begun? Is the market rotating? The market rotated to gold, it looks like, GLD. And gold's getting euphoric, and that's usually not a good sign. Yeah, gold's getting euphoric, which means it can continue to go up for a bit and just leak higher, just barely every single day. But eventually, you're just going to see one big sell in there from a big boy, and then people are going to panic sell at the high, right? Some people are going to sell and take profit, and then at lower levels, people might panic sell, and that could pile on the selling for GLD later. But it really depends on what kind of things we get for today. Let's keep this up in case we need to make some kind of move. Turns out AA speech hit deaf ears. Maybe it didn't, Richard. Maybe AA speech hit some people with fat wallets ears who do not want AMC to go up. You know, we don't necessarily know at the end of it. Well, I guess at the end of it all, you'll probably end up finding out. Right? Any kind of, right? It's kind of like a Roaring Kitty tweet. Roaring Kitty tweets, big burst up, the reaction can be down. Roaring Kitty tweets, you know, if they're prepared for it, especially Roaring Kitty tweets, or Roaring Kitty says, I'm going live on this date. On that date, stock goes down, right? Unsympathetic. Yes, let's put it that way. I like that. I like that phrasing. What would make people sell gold? There seems like no catalyst for gold to come down. The catalyst would be if there's more money to be made in other areas because gold is at the high. If they want to take on some more risk by going back into, say, tech, semiconductors, Mag 7, that would be the reason. It'd be a rotation, right? Oh, terrible times. What am I going to do? Well, let's sit it in gold. And enough people thought that it went up. Oh, wait, we actually got good news based on the tariffs. We're getting good news. So, or we can see it as good news, or maybe it's bad news that we're done with. And it's kind of a sell the fact, sell the news, or I'm sorry, buy the news, buy the fact kind of thing, right? There's been so much confusion that maybe non-confusion just causes buying. All right, Suri. All right, if that's your assessment, that's perfectly fine. But if you think it's going to keep going higher until interest rates go lower, a cycle continues, how long do you think gold will go higher? And you're really seeming confident. So, with your confidence, how high or how long will gold go up? And will it be a significant move? You know, because if you're saying it that confidently, then it sounds like easy money, right? No, Richard, let Suri say it's going to go up. Keep letting people say it's going to go up from these levels. Just keep letting it happen. Just keep letting it happen, buddy. It's a good thing for you, Richard. I would, Richard, if you don't have a lot of time to expiration though, that can take some time. I want to warn you, that can take some time. It might be worth the extra little bit of cash to extend that out. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you do have a month. I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you had a week. Like you had a month, or you had a few weeks, like a week ago. I forgot yesterday you did say a month. That's right. How do you always get everything wrong? Man, you just don't watch the videos, do you? If someone comes into my chat and says you got it wrong, you just do not actually pay attention to the channel. I'm sorry. You just don't. It's very obvious at this moment, okay? I think there will be a significant pullback to about 260-ish soon enough. I don't disagree, but overall, until the rate cycle lowers. Okay, perfect. I like that, Suri. I like that. I like that, Suri. Pin. Hey, that's why Rumble's a good place. If you guys don't like the trolls, just come over to Rumble. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit more exclusive. And you don't get people who just blatantly do not watch the videos and do not understand anything about what we actually talk about, which means they're probably betting on a stock market crash right now, which is perfectly fine. That's justifiable. I think you have a reason for that. You are delusional. You don't know how to trade. Yeah, better correct yourself. Hey, cool with me, buddy. You can have fun in my chat all you want, trolling. I don't give a shit. Oh, God. Literally, my title says that we could crash or squeeze in this environment, and you need to react. Like that's literally the title. But it's okay. People like this get excited to type things on the internet. Trust me, I was big on the worst platforms. I was bigger on the worst platforms. YouTube's pretty bad to be big on, so but I'm not big here, I would say. I've dealt with way worse trolls than that. Let him do whatever he wants to do. As long as he's being semi-civil about it, I don't care. Great video. Love your commentary and TA. Hey, thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Sounds like you watch the videos. You get nothing right. You guys, we get nothing right. We get nothing right here either. We get nothing right here either. Yeah, we weren't aware of this happening at all. Yeah, we weren't aware of this type of thing happening way back here when we were talking about the bullish signal. Yeah, we were really taken off guard by this, guys. We're really taken off guard by the fact that the SPY's turning down right now too. It's almost like I know this is the most probable thing for the day that we keep mentioning, but we're really taken off guard by it, guys. Love it. Thank you guys for shouting out some good things too. Appreciate you. I hope everyone has a great day. The average person's stupidity would cause. Baba. So I used to look at comments all the time, and I took advice from Joe Rogan, actually. Do you know what Joe Rogan does? He posts and then goes about his business, right? If you want to take the information, take it for what it's worth. Your opinion about it is your opinion about it. This is my stuff I like to put out there, and proven to be right most of the time. Luke is taking profit. Yeah, I'm on the inside, Nat. Great analysis. We could crash or squeeze. Okay. Are you from the future? Do you know if that dark pool that came in yesterday was a buy or a sell? Because you can't know. It's just oh god, people. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, short your house. You know, take a bet that's going to really change your life. Because you're in an environment where it'll change your life for the extremely better or the extremely worse. So you do crazy things. Here, let's give an emoji for this guy real quick, right? Let's give an emoji for this guy. There. He's this guy. Right? Here he was probably this guy. And then here, he's probably this guy, right? He's like let's see if he ends up turning back into this guy by the end of the week. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's right. That's perfectly fine with me. I like to do my own thing. It's a wobbly time to trade. Robert, I think you're okay to say that. It's a very choppy type of market. So it's a very bear market-like thing. So you got to be a little quick with it. Actually, this is the most complex like a bear market really even gets. This is the complexities you see in a bear market that are kind of wild. But they're a lot of fun if you're quick with it. Oh, I know, Richard. That's why I know they don't make money. People who genuinely, yeah, it's fine. We'll not talk about it anymore. I don't want to even talk badly about another human being. I don't care. If they want to talk badly about me and about other human beings, that's perfectly fine. But I just think people are misguided these days. I guarantee you he didn't watch the video and see that I tweeted exactly what was going to happen on Monday, and it happened. It was the most probable thing. It didn't have to happen. I even admit that in my videos all the time. Like, we didn't have to be right? There was never 100%. There's nothing that's ever 100% in the market. So we don't have to be right. It's just if we pay attention to the more probable thing, we're going to be more right than wrong. That's it. All right, yeah. Anyway, what's going on here, man? Looks like going down to the daily expected move at 554.52. So this is an area we can bounce from. Something surprising, right? Unexpected is something that I'm actually expecting. I think that would be very interesting for us to do. Let's see if people are starting to shift to puts right as we turn down. Perfect. They're shifting to puts right as we turn down. Remember, the goal is if we sweep that low to get that PCC most likely at elevated levels. So we will be paying attention to that. But we got to see if this 30-minute crosses down first, right? The most probable thing for the day is to see a 30-minute divergence. It's possible, yeah. SPY and the QQQ go up so much faster than it goes down equals bull market. I don't know exactly how to read into that comment. Weirdly enough, you would say that on big drops, the stock market tends to go down quicker than it goes up, right? But now that kind of contradicts it, because every single time you spike down like 2020, you just spike back up with that, money supply, just, pump money into the system. So yeah, I actually think you're probably right on that. Yeah. Okay, now I get you, Mr. Pickle. You like how Amazon is looking today? Yeah, I actually do. I want it to do the 30-minute divergence, right? This was overall part of my plan. It's not, I want to be very clear with that. It's not like, oh, I was planning for there to be a 30-minute. No, I have a plan for if a 30-minute divergence pops up at the low for the positions that I have taken. If that makes sense, Mafia. I want to make sure to be clear. It's not like a week ago I was going, yes, I want to scale in with a 30-minute divergence, and that's definitely going to happen. That's not it. It's just that's part of something that could happen that I have a plan for, if that makes the most sense. Do we see our lower high on the SPY at 572 or 581? Technically, your lower high was already here, and if you're going to cross down, you're going to see the daily cross down, and you're going to see that keep going. And then I'd watch out if you see elevated selling come in to 530, right? Our new monthly expected move, right? You still want to pay attention to in case it is not as bad as it seems. GLD has been on an amazing run for a long time. It has. Very, very nice. What's it been like? Has it been like, has it been over 6? It's been on a run forever, man. This thing's been going and going and going. But I guess it was down in these areas. Yeah, we curl up, we go positive, we break through 250 pretty cleanly. 250.77, very nice. Break through the high pretty cleanly. A little bit of resistance came in initially, but it just started to rip. This started, yeah, right at the beginning of the year, pretty much January, that started to ramp up. It just looks like 260 is the perfect 270, 260, 250. Those are three very good levels, I think, to pay attention to for a potential weekly or a potential pullback. The problem is on the weekly, you're violating divergence on the MACD. So this is actually very likely that this could just be a pullback, right? This could just pull back and then turn right back up. So I actually, now that Suri has explained what they meant, it makes a lot more sense, right? Initially, I thought you meant, oh, GLD is just going to go up forever, and that's for sure. Now that they've explained it, I definitely respect the analysis there, okay? Tesla holding up in anticipation for delivery numbers tomorrow. Man, Baba, what do you think about that? Jay saying that you made him $100 for bringing up Newsmax. So Jay saying thank you. Baba, what do you think about that? I mean, with everything that's going on with Teslas in general. Sorry, I keep kicking the damn table. With Teslas in general, what do you think about it? Because everyone's like, insurance is really high on Teslas now. Cars are getting damaged on Teslas now. People with Teslas are literally putting Toyota stickers on them. Are the news good or bad for the market? Sorry if this is a stupid question. And it's not a stupid question. People ask it all the time. Do not think don't think that you can really be like yes or no to a data question. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something, and you're not going to like to hear it, but it's the truth. You more so want to pay attention to the reaction to any piece of data. Why is that? Why is that? Same action as Nvidia where it holds up. So you think, yeah, more of a rug pull seems more likely. Okay. But why do we pay attention to the reaction? Well, you've probably heard this all the time from people like me that talk about stocks on the internet all the time. Well, or you maybe just notice it yourself. Wow, this looks like bad news, but the market's treating it like good news. Sometimes bad news is good news and good news is bad news. Sometimes good news is good news and bad news is bad news. So if that's the case, right, sometimes you can read into that, right? During 2022, during the bear market, it was much easier to read into, okay, technically, say, what was it? Say jobs data, right? They technically wanted to see that soften, right? They wanted to see that soften a little. So actually, unemployment going up a little bit meant things are okay, right? Good news from a bad data point. So that's why I'm going to tell you, N, the better thing to do is look at the reaction. What is the reaction so far? It's overall downward, but we're going to a daily expected move. Now, what is still the most likely thing for the day? This. Do we have to do that? No. We could easily see whatever the stock wants to do in here for whatever time it wants to do it, and then we could see a 2-hour confirm to the upside, and that would really start to point things in the upward direction, suggesting that this could be an actual like low, like a solid major low. So I'm sorry that I got to say it that way. I know you don't want that type of answer. I know you want to do your research and be like, how can I read into data to make the best decision I can? And it's just unfortunate that that's the case, right? It's better to see how people move their money after a data point comes in. You might see that battle between the bulls and the bears, looking for confirmation and then paying attention to your probabilities. Nobody mentions it anymore. I think that's real fishy. A lot of people are talking about, what is it, Lee Oswald or whatever. I saw some things about Lee Oswald or whatever. Like people are saying, and NBC has a video that proves like he wasn't even, there was no way from a picture or something or a video that there was no way he did it. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe, but I got to see the video. I'm not going to just take, you know, I'm not someone who just hears something and goes, yeah, that's how it is, you know? People think that a higher stock market means the economy's good. It's like, the economy can look good, but if it's just all credit card debt and people, you know, people right now are taking out HELOCs to buy stocks, I assume. That's oof. That's a scary thing to do, man. That's a lot of risk. SPY acting like low float volatile stock. My goodness. You look at AMC? Yeah. Yeah, we can look at it. Really vomiting here, right? The daily is going to be curling down. This is not what you want to see for AMC, right? You want to see if these divergences are violated. So we'll see. Right now it's going down, down, down. Remember that on the opposite side of this is a weekly expected move downside. I think I have it on my chart here. Let me look over here for you. You could go down to like almost 250 before this thing really sees some good stuff. USA, USA, we look rich. It's all debt. We only bail out banks. We only bail out hedge funds. We only bail out banks. We don't care about children. We don't care about children. Like you want to hear hard truths. That's what it is. It's unfortunate, but that is the truth. You have been in an America for probably since what? Since JFK. That really kind of put the American citizen over time, slowly over time, put them last. That's unfortunate. Still, I think that, at the end of the day, your team can perform bad and do all the wrong things, but you can still be a fan for your team. You think it happened with Nixon? I don't know. When can someone look up? Is someone versed in history? Oh, silver was. There was a talk of a silver squeeze. Silver looked like it was going to do crazy stuff. And I'm sorry. Let me really look at AMC. I feel like I didn't even look at that. So for AMC, this is really bad, right? It's very easy for me to say this is really bad right here. But the important part is, we know enough about how we do things around here to say If we're not taking back that 5 and the 30-minute curls down, it can get bad. Now, why is this getting so bad? Someone explain that to me. I would love for someone to say why this all of a sudden got really bad. Why do you think that happened? Why is AMC down 4% today? You know, I don't really care about the why. I more care about the price action. But in this kind of scenario, it's like it's down 4%. It's Adam Aron's tweet in some way. Either investors are disappointed with the tweet that made them upset, they don't want to invest in the company, or the tweet might have had a positive reaction and maybe the problem is real. Hey, you're probably not going to know until the end of all this mess. So you might never know. That's the risk there. But yeah, this is turning down, violating a lot of things. Daily can turn down. We want to see if this holds the divergence point. Okay, this is going to be very important down here. Does the MACD hold this? Okay. Does the RSI hold this? Okay. It can easily violate that, trick you, and then squeeze, right? Magical things can happen. It can easily start to squeeze and fail and go down to 0. That can happen too. Everything has a percentage. Everything is pretty much possible when it comes to the stock market, right? The SPY could go to 0 tomorrow. What's the percentage chance of that happening? It's next to 0, next to nothing. But that doesn't mean it's not a percentage, right? Now, that's probably over assuming that there's a bunch of risk, right? That's probably overdoing it. It's Jover, Fred. No. Yeah, we're at a daily expected move. We'll see. Silver squeeze. Short volume was reported as 64 million for silver yesterday. Thoughts? Okay, let me look at silver. Yeah, so AMC, you're really looking for the macro signals to hold in some way. That would be a good sign. Having put on the SPY goes to 0. The question is, would you get paid? Well, did you watch The Big Short? And did you see how they had to sell their stuff before things went bankrupt? so technically, that's what I'm thinking of. Didn't you say down early and possibly up later on yesterday's video? I watched the whole thing. Yep. Well, the one thing was this. One thing was this about the SPY, the 5, right? I was looking at where that 5 would be. I still think, you always want to pay attention that that's possible to do this first. Set the upside trap. But if the job is done here and we want to do something like this, that would be possible. We don't have to. We haven't even curled down yet. This could easily shift up, right? We could do this. We could go boom, 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 right? There's a lot of things that can happen. I'm trying to care less about the micro stuff and just use it for positions to keep buying. $0 downside. The SPY lifetime expected move, 650. The lifetime expected move, 0 to the downside. No. Silver, not the best look for silver, but not the absolute worst. It's pretty rough here for silver. Oh God, it's pretty rough here for silver. At least the signals are. They would be very risky, and you would probably make a lot of money if this thing just like. Actually, I don't know if you would. I wonder if people are bullish on SLV. Let me go look. And I love that, like, guys, I don't post on Twitter all the time. I don't always say like what I think is the most probable or what seems to be the most probable. I don't tweet a ton, just so you're aware if you went over and followed my account yesterday. Yeah, people very bullish on silver here. Let's look for the end of the week. What is the end of the week? The 4th, right? Yeah, people pretty bullish there. Still a put wall at 28.5. And then people getting bearish, reaching out to the 11th of April to 27.5 for silver. So let me look at the chart again. 27.5. Yeah, so it would look like silver says, hey, I might vomit down and go fill that gap around 28.28. That looks to be something that's possible. Now, the 2-hour chart is still positive. If that curls up at any time and violates divergence, crazy things going to happen, okay, guys? And I assume that if we're actually going to crash in this scenario or something, that gold and silver still produce a little bit there. Yeah, Remy, if you want to go review last night's video, if you want a little bit more of what I think is going to happen, because I just shouted out the most probable thing to me, which is, and for the week, I would say, and for your signals of the MACD and RSI right now, you don't have any forms of reversal of weakening in momentum. This looks like lackluster buying. It looks pretty good. It's better than we've gotten in previous times, but you just notice there's no reversal signal behind it on the shortest time frame that I like to look at. So if there's no reversal signal on the shortest time frame I look at, and it's within the weekly expected move still, easily can go make a 30-minute divergence. Nice, tall. TLT calls popping to the weekly. Yeah, Remy. The 30-minute divergence across almost all of like the Mag 7 looks to be very, very likely. But you are in a moment where you need to be flipping back and forth between your 2-hour. Oh, that's still not confirmed. Okay, the 30-minute. Okay, that's not confirmed down. So you're in that middle area where you're still battling. I think bulls and bears are kind of battling, or just the volume is crap and people aren't doing anything. But yeah, that was the end of the day, right? It's not horrible volume on the cells. Nice job, Ta. That's what's up, dude. Did you say down early and possible later today? Yesterday's video. Yeah, okay, Dubs. I just want to make sure we tackled that. Yeah, now we didn't really say like, oh yeah, watch for the daily expected move, but that's that. Hopefully, if you're new here, I kind of missed out on that portion, but for the most part, we're looking for this to curl down. You can always use a bottom side daily expected. That's why you still want to be flipping over to this 2-hour. Still want to be flipping back and forth, right? But you have time for that 2-hour to do its thing. Starting to get the feeling that this will be the last drop before a long grind up to the real top of the market. It seems potential for that. With the signals you do have, you can get a rip. Okay. Now, just so you are aware for your risk management, a short squeeze and a crash are still unexpected, low probability things. The reason that we are saying something big can happen here is because of the signals. And if these produce, you can see a squeeze. So expect the unexpected, but still treat everything the same. You can still see resistance come in at the monthly. You can still see resistance come in at the weekly. And we still get unemployment data on Friday and non-farm payrolls, if I'm not mistaken. PCC not jumping. Let's go look over at our boy over here. AMC just dropping. There's something I want to look at here for AMC. Actually, let's look at the pricing stuff. Stuff getting dramatic. That's not too bad. I mean, the selling is bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking at pricing right now. Like everything is just a cent. 6. 10, 20, 30. I don't know. See if those turn around. Volume falling hard on this bounce. You're 20. You're 21 point. You're 22 minutes in, or only 8 minutes in technically. I'd wait till at least like the 10-minute mark to make a look at volume. Other idea I have is URA, which may be double bottoming. Okay, I'm gonna look on my other screen. What is it? URA. Oh, uranium, duh, okay. Just like the market, daily divergence is there. Just like everything else out there, it's like trying to create daily divergence, right? This would be rejection technically. Well, I don't even know if you'd consider that daily divergence, 4-hour divergence maybe. But yeah, you're seeing this. So look for those little hints in here that suggest, hey, the daily could curl up, right? The little hints in here. Maybe that's a 2-hour. Maybe it's just a 30-minute, right? But the last time you saw a bounce from this, you made the 2-hour divergence very blatantly right here. Didn't squeeze right away, and then bam, you get that good move there. It didn't really squeeze necessarily, but bam, there's your low. There's your higher low. Goes positive. Very nice. So you're kind of looking for that over here. At least something on the 30-minute. I guess you could consider that rejection. We'll see. Might have a lot more time, though. We'll see. Very nice. Oh, I don't even need to look at the SPY here. I need to look at other things. Okay, good. Robert, yeah. If you were, then this looks like decent areas. Are there any news? No, not necessarily. I mean, you had data this morning. I think everyone's still waiting on tariff talk, right? Sorry for saying the word again. My bad. You did get like a good confirmation, but then you made a new high, so it's getting volatile in volatility. Let's look at VVIX. Yeah, VVIX still pretty elevated there, not crossed down, right? The 30-minute move like this is what we want to see happen here for VIX. I still want to see, as the 30-minute has yet to cross down, if this can produce something like that. But the 2-hour is suggesting there is some weakness here on a bigger time frame. So we'll find out. I think we're still likely to see things fool around, and then we'll get potentially a decision soon. I think today and tomorrow will be big days, but could last until the end of the week. We get data at the end of the week. Wonder if people shrug that off or what. Fading longs here, in my opinion, it's definitely possible. I mean, still the most probable thing. Sweep that low again. Have them give up and say, yesterday was nothing. Now we're going to get Black Tuesday, right? The stock tumbled by 37% in France. Stock rising. Well, it's been going down for a long time, right? Tesla was down 56% at some point. The drop probably won't be that bad either. We'll see. Thank you, Tesla, for the quick 250. Nice job, Aaron. Good trade. We like to hear it. That's great. The high volatility Newsmax. Yeah, that's a crazy move though. That's gonna be very difficult. People who have some good skill though, they'll be able to do some things. And they're just gonna risk to reward some stuff probably throughout the day. Bitcoin hits 84,000. Is the correction over? Oh shit. Okay, so we're going down for the double dip. No. So Bitcoin's up still, right, with the divergences. What's this guy doing today compared to MSTR is overall slightly positive. Because GME is pretty much an MSTR. That's bad. Meta positive. Microsoft now up 1%. That's not lackluster anymore. That will probably, that's enough buying that could make a higher low, weirdly enough. But this is where you might do that on the 30-minute. Google as well. 153.87. Great point there. Google was awful at the end of the month. Google was terrible. Like, holy crap. Google was bad. Still has daily divergence. Oh man. How is that news? It's probably, usually if you see random news like that, I mean, not really random. They're not necessarily incorrect to call that out. Man, you look at this daily chart though, and you see that green bar, and you just go, man, a wick down there makes sense, but to lose it now, man, that had to be some bad news. What about Meta? Well, Meta, I was going to peek at that real quick. Up 1%. The buying is better here. It's still better, but notice the difference. Microsoft got this type of movement here. You're not like ramping up at all. You literally were going slow and then bam. It's a good sign. Meta is still like it got a bam and then it's been slow. And you're still a little slower here. So I'd still watch out for divergence more so with Meta actually. We'll see though. It's pretty much like this a lot of the time. If this 30-minute curls down, just look for if it curls up, right? Is it curled down right now? No. So it is still pointing in that direction, which is a good sign. Nvidia, did that able to climb back? All right, climbing, still just below the 5, still negative on the 30 minutes. So another drop is still very likely. The institutional bump on SPY 215 million volume to the negative in the last minute of trading as they exited to shake out the shorts. Really? You notice that? Can't figure out what the SPY is doing. It's doing what the SPY wants to do, right? This is why, like, I'm really enjoying this method, and I hope it really works. Yeah. All right, let's see. I gotta look at some stuff real quick. Okay, wait, what is it? It's just K. Wait, SPY, full V shape, potential. What about Meta? Can't figure out what the SPY's doing. We read there. Gold maybe making a topping tail today. Very possible. What do they mean when they say K-shaped recovery? I don't know that I've really paid too much attention to a K-shaped recovery. It sounds very familiar. Let's look. Let's learn a little bit more together. I know I've heard of it, but I don't think it's a technical term, is it? Okay, here's a picture. I don't even know if this is... I don't even know if that's the right thing to do. It looks like income, health, education. So the K-shaped recovery would be going in the green would be stockholders, homeowners, tech, finance. Wait, no, that can't be right. As an illustration of K-shaped recovery. Right here we see, the one thing I see is recovering industries would be going up, would be technology, retail, software, services. Industries needing assistance, aka slightly going down, making the downward shape of the K, would be travel, entertainment, hospitality, and food services. That's what I see. Anyone? Okay, wait, Remy. Let me read this. Remy might have it. It's when it rotates to other sectors like healthcare and staples. Yeah, the chart that or at least the thing that I pulled up shows K-shaped recovery here. It looks like sector rotation type of thing, but people don't rotate into, say, travel, entertainment, hospitality, food services. Instead, they go into technology, retail, and software services. I guess, semiconductor might be included in all three of those categories. That would be interesting to see. Or what Remy said. What did you say, Richard? It's just a K. It's missing the O part of OK. It's just K. Damn. You ever make a girl mad and all you get is K? Oh. Oh. So in this case, semis and tech are dumping, but defensive sectors are thriving. Yeah, you're pretty. So would you say GLD compared to, say, even semiconductors maybe right now? Oh, I thought it meant the shape of the charts. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a charting thing. But you can see it. Technically, you could see it in charts, right? You could see it happen. It's just rotation, it seems. You're right, but I still think we have a big chance to rip this week if we don't get really bad news. Right, so if you look at 8 sectors, 4 go up, 4 go down, like a K. That's nice. That's cool. Thanks for shouting that out. Yeah, you look at the visual and you just go, and then it shows you the kind of sectors, and you just go, okay, it's sector rotation in some way. By looking to break out on the 5-minute. So something we can dig into it if you guys want for a little bit here. I'll have to go. I got to get some stuff set up and got to go to the store before the storm hits. We do have tornadoes potentially coming tonight, so just be aware of that. We might not have a YouTube video tonight, so I will still be posting the daily expected moves most likely. If I can't go and make a video tonight, I will be posting the daily expected move for the SPY and the Qs and the SPX to Patreon. And I'll try to get the if everything's good, then we'll try to still go live the next morning. And don't do it's not supposed to come for a bit, Richard. It's not technically. I don't think it's supposed to come till like they're saying think like 8 p.m. tonight, which would give me time to make the video. And we'll just, the girls can hang out with me. You guys might hear some baby noises in my video. But yes, Richard, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I know you mean very, very well. I'll never say like, stop worrying about me, Dad. No. Richard, you're being the opposite of a dick right now, and I appreciate that. Godspeed. Yeah, thankfully, I last night went to the store and got some stuff because I figured, it's kind of like toilet paper and stuff. People freak out on the day of, so I just went last night and got the main things. But I'm terrible at grocery shopping. So I know that's weird to say as an adult, but I used to do it, before I met my wife, and I haven't grocery shopped in so long that I'm like, I don't have to cook. I don't even think I could cook well anymore. I used to cook for my whole team back in the day when I played semi-pro ball. What's up for the SPY today? Well, we're looking at a 5-minute. I don't even really want to. Really, we're just looking if this 5-minute can tell us a hint here, but I don't even think it's like that useful, to be totally honest. It can be. It might end up being, but the main thing is, does the 30-minute turn down or does the 2-hour turn up? And most likely we want to see some decent volume in this. I mean, you've got 37 minutes left. If you can show that volume coming in even harder, then you might not dump here, but you're still at risk, and I think you still want to be paying attention to the 30-minute. So we can look at the 5 and have some fun with it for a while. I'm sure day traders are going to be like, "Oh my god, yes, we're looking at a 5-minute chart." Bro, you know how big the movie when it first came out, Twister, was when I was a kid? Because we get tornadoes like often. We have a video of a tornado that came, and I was in my mom's tummy. She was standing there pregnant watching the tornado hit the town next to us. It's brutal, man. That town gets hit more so with tornadoes than the main city, right? So it's brutal for that town. I don't get why it always happens, but it always steers that direction. But apparently today, like tonight, it's supposed to steer in directly our direction. So have you seen Twister? I haven't seen the new one, if that's what you're talking about. It's about the tornado that hit the town in Missouri. I don't know if that tornado was the same one. It most likely was not, but they can move pretty quick, so yeah, I don't know. Probably not though. That's a little far. Oh, that's about the tornado that hit the town in Missouri. Oh, that one was brutal. Yeah, I like little documentaries about that. I think, I took a class in college called Natural Disasters. It's pretty fun. Geriatric millennial here remembers Twister from the 1990s. Yeah, man. Great film. Great cast. Oh my goodness, what a cast. Yeah, Joplin. That one was brutal, man. Yeah, let's just hope the government doesn't use it as a way to screw people out of their homes like California. We know you had $1 million mansion, but we're going to force you to make a duplex. Oh, and we're going to make it take 3 years for you to be able to do that. And you only can use a builder that we approve. And yeah, it's fucking, um, ugh. Actually, where's our California girl at? We not here? Where's Tina? You guys, where's Tina been? Is Tina all right? I live in California. It's a straight dumpster fire. I'm sure some people view it differently, but from the outside looking in, I would say, it's like Hawaii. That's what it looks like to me. Hmm. WHE. Try again, Kalani. Wait, where are we going today? I assume you're saying where are we going today? Still the most probable thing, go make a 30-minute divergence, but you have decent, like you don't have terrible, like absolutely garbage volume for this 2 hour. So it's not really, really bad. It's just a little bit lackluster, I would say. The most probable thing, 30-minute divergence, still paying attention to it. We have not confirmed up on a 2 hour, and we're still below the 5. This is a good sign, but if we create a little 5-minute divergence here, I'll be watching it. I'm not going to take a trade or anything like that to the downside, right? That's not part of the plan, unfortunately. I guess if I wanted to, I could add a little hedge in there for that, but 30-minute divergence, dollars for trading. If you want to watch yesterday's YouTube video, that's fine. I'll tell you right now, though. So 30-minute divergence, dollars for trading. Do you know what divergence is? I'm not calling you out thinking you're stupid or anything like that. I'm not saying that, right? I'm saying, do you just know what that is, right? Because that'll help me a lot with discussing what we need to do, or else I have to go a little deeper. And we could do a little divergence spat too. That's never a bad thing. Ton of bears when Tesla was at 218. Interesting to see where this goes. Stevo, that's not good enough for me to go. Pretend I'm an idiot. Hey, that's fine. Okay, that's very honest of you, and I appreciate it. Okay, so divergence. Let's just do this for anyone who still has trouble understanding divergence, or maybe you've never even heard of it before. It's perfectly fine to come in and ask those type of questions. Okay, dollars, and other people that are in the chat, and maybe you have questions like that seem very simple. Still ask the question. There are other people that probably do not know as well, or they're still trying to understand it better. So a divergence is very simply when the price action is going down, but you are getting a weakness in momentum signal. So the price action will be going down. And what I like to do is you can even do this, right? Draw a line and connect those points, right? And then what'll happen down here on your indicators is they will turn down, but they will be in the opposite direction of this red line, meaning they will be diverging, right? They will be pointing up. Do you see how this line is down? This line is up. Okay, that is technically divergence. What we look for is when divergence is technically at the same time. That's what I really like to see. That's when I really like the signal. So you can do this on the RSI as well. So what we pay attention to on this channel is when it's highly probable to see a reversal and take a position to potentially see a look like this. Now, to prove this to you, I'm going to show you something from back here. Do you see this type of shape? And do you see this type of shape? It's never going to be perfect like this, or it's actually, I'm not going to say never. Sometimes it is perfect like this, okay? Sometimes it is perfect as that drawing, but sometimes it's a little choppy. You notice that it went up and down and up, but eventually you see that go down and you see this. So let's connect that line, right? Same thing, same thing. But notice what is going on your MACD and RSI at the same time. If you need me to blow those up so you can really see it, okay, let's blow those up for a second, just a little bit bigger. Spread them out so you can really see it. All right, so what do you notice from the RSI? Do we see something different than right here? Do we see a divergence? Is this the opposite of what you see in the price action? Okay, boom, look, 1, 2, and you have the 3. So right there, this is going down. So I just want to see if the MACD confirms, meaning crosses back up into, like really crosses back up. That's when it's risky to take, but that's when I like to take it. I like to, you want, like the way to look at it is you want to figure out what you're comfortable with when assuming some risk, right? This would be a time where the signal is suggesting, hey, this is the time where this can rotate around. It can fail, but we had other data to help us at these points. So very simply though, divergence is when the price action is making a move down, maybe a 2 move down, right? But the MACD is doing this. It is actually showing up. And that just means to us, the momentum to the downside is slowing, right? Called kind of, maybe you've heard someone say tapering, right? It's going like this, then it goes like this, okay? So yeah, just to really simplify though, it's just when the price action is pointing down and then this is pointing up. When is this actually considered divergence confirmed? Like divergence is there. We have divergence. You can say that phrase, right? I do say that phrase often. Sometimes you'll hear me say it is forming, or it hasn't formed yet, or this is something to pay attention to. But when it actually confirms is when you cross up on the MACD, you cross up on the RSI, and you see the price action get above a 9 moving average on whatever chart you're looking at. So you can find divergence on the 30-minute, you can find divergence on the 5-minute, you can find divergence on a 2-hour, a daily, a weekly, a monthly, right? The big thing about that is whatever the time frame is, don't get overzealous with it. If I see a 30-minute divergence, I shouldn't be expecting a 20% move. If I see a daily divergence, though, maybe I can expect maybe a 5, 10, 20% move. Okay? Depending on what the look is. But are you able to understand that? Is that good? How do you know it is going down by the chart analysis? Because the price appears that everything is going up. I don't know dollars. This is a very good question. You can never know which direction the chart is going to go at any moment. What if someone just decided to buy millions of dollars worth of the SPY right now, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars worth, and no sellers show up? Well, the stock would go up, right? More buyers than sellers. So what we do on this channel is we are aware that the market does crazy things. And a lot of the time, it does things like this because it is a very options-driven market. So they want to do this and then curl it back up because that will take out stops, that will get people very bearish, and people will think stock market crash, just like they did over here. People thought stock market crash, then we got the confirmation of divergence, and they were completely wrong. Does that make sense? So what we're doing is we're trying to read into the future. And there are always 2 scenarios, right? There's usually a bullish scenario and a bearish one. And we talk about both of those in our video most of the time. Yeah, so it's not necessarily like you have to draw it, but it's more so, do I see that? So there are key things to understand here. You could make this, and then this one could not show up. And this green line could, the price or the RSI reading could go like this. That is something very important to pay attention to. That means you only have divergence on one indicator, which takes away some credibility of this being some kind of great move to the upside. That's why if you wanted to maybe rewind and watch all of that again, I would really suggest taking out a notebook and just writing down divergence is when the price action is going down for say 2 swing lows, but the MACD and RSI are showing divergence, aka pointing in the opposite direction at the same time. This is called a positive divergence. If you see it to the upside, let's say price action looks like this, right? See how it's a slightly up, but your MACD, say, looks like this. Hey, that's slightly down. Okay, that would be negative divergence, right? Suggesting that a negative move could potentially come, suggesting that the weakness in buying to the upside. Is that pretty good? It's kind of a crash course, but I think a lot of people need to hear that, and I'm perfectly comfortable talking about that. And we go way more, I would say way more in depth, but we talk about it in the course that helps you understand why it is important. In the course, it is more so teaching you what it is and then also telling you why we utilize it. Why is it important? And once you do that, you're going to understand this center line really, really well and all of that. Okay? Please, please, dollar, it will really help you out. Stick around. Maybe give us a sub if you feel like it. But we did talk about this in last night's video, and we do it very quickly. So it's very good for you to come live and ask questions. I come back to your live shows to get reminders of the divergence you just mentioned. Pretty helpful. Exactly. So this is a great place to come back to and just ask those simple questions. All right. Dollars for trading. Thank you for the question. Hopefully people just, it's always good. I like to talk about this stuff. Obviously, I talk about it every day. I like to talk about it because it always reminds me of what I'm looking for. This channel's been a blessing for me, just like maybe you consider it a blessing for yourself. I mean, you show up here every day. I appreciate it, but know that it's a two-way street. This is something that really allows me to get into technicals and take it very, very seriously and remind myself of what I'm looking for at all times. The course goes on sale technically today. Now, I was preparing for the... It's supposed to go on sale today. I just didn't change the price yet, so hopefully no one got it. If you did grab it for the higher price, I will refund you for the amount that you overspent. Okay. I need to change that now though. I was out grocery shop. I totally forgot. But yeah. And like I said, you know, someone like dollars you have plenty of time to get it. It is not, don't rush into buying someone's course, even if it's cheap, even if it's expensive, right? Either way, don't rush into buying it. Make sure that you can understand things pretty well here on YouTube, and then you can make that decision. Right? I'm not someone who's just going to say, okay, yeah, you have to get this or else you're going to be bad at trading. No, there's millions of different ways to trade. I just want to make sure that it is a good fit for you. So watching these videos, showing up to the live show, asking those type of questions is a very good idea early on. And then maybe after a couple weeks, you go, okay, maybe you get an extra couple $100 from a tax return and you go, hey, I'd really like to utilize this to potentially as an investment in my learning about technical analysis. That's when you can make that type of decision, right? We don't like people who are very green and don't really have a good grasp of how markets move and divergences and little things like that, weekly expected moves. We like to make sure you at least like stick around and make sure it is a good fit for you because there's a million different ways to trade and see if it's comfortable for you. Yeah, and I've learned more and more, Aaron. Crazy enough. Like, right? We learned something today. The K-shape. And Bobby, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we learned something about the K-shape, which is pretty much a sector rotation, which makes sense. But someone said K-shape, and I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen a K-shape stock recovery. I'm just learning how to increase my potential for wins based on the RSI and the MACD. Perfect. Then divergence is a perfect thing for you, and weekly expected moves are a perfect thing for you. It is. Now you got to get into time frames. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, are you under 30? That's what we would say, right? Are you pretty young? Because if you are, then you don't have to sit there and try to get rich and make $1 million fast. You can do it the slow way, which is much, much safer. And that just means looking at bigger time frames, taking longer out expirations. You see something on the MACD and RSI for Tesla. Sorry, I need to let me update this real quick, Sebastian, okay? Give me one moment here. Okay, good. Nobody bought it for the bigger price. That's great. I did not want someone, you know, I don't like when I really don't like, I want people to wait for the key moments to get it for a good price and stick to YouTube for learning initially. If you're green. Let's go here. Here. Let me see here what time. Can I edit this? Can't. Shoot. Yeah, we'll do that one. It's fine. Okay. Price. Let's get rid of that one. Save you guys a buck, you know? Oh, wait. Okay, archive. Good. All right, I am going to go check my link real quick to make sure that that updated. And then we'll get back to the charts. All right, guys, I'm trying to stick around for just a little bit longer this morning before I have to hop off and go to the store. Thank you guys for subscribing, though. And thank you guys for liking the video. It really, really helps. It really helps us get to more people like this who can ask a simple question, and really learning something as simple divergence can really increase someone's good decision making. So thank you guys for liking the videos and stuff all the time. You guys are fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, full technical analysis course is the one that is going back on sale. I always leave the swing trading course on sale just so you guys are aware if you are new to trading and you want something very basic, very basic, very cheap. But in order to fully understand how these markets move, it will be very good for the full technical analysis course. That's up to you, though. Maybe you just like swing trading. You don't want to mess with it too much. Okay, so I got to edit that real quick, too. Where is my site? No. Pages. Damn, what the hell? Where is this thing? Okay, that fixed. That's very good. That fixed. Oh my gosh. This is the problem. I didn't look at it for enough. Oh, there it is. Okay. Edit. Okay, now just make sure people know that's been updated. And update. Okay, then I'm going to refresh this page real quick. All right, perfect. So it is updated. If you want to grab it, like I said, that sale will be going on. We're going to leave it for a couple of months here. So we're not going to talk about it too much throughout this month, but I just wanted it to be there in case people want access to it for the discount for a couple of months. We're going to leave it for a little while. All right. It's just going to be there in case you want to access it, right? That's totally up to you. I totally understand if you think that it's not for you, you read into it, you go, I don't think this is for me, perfectly fine. And I will be updating some things to the course, like talking about the over emotional stuff. I think that's very good, talking about, you know, how people's emotions are at certain points. And I'm going to use weekly expected moves to show those examples. Okay. Awesome. 6 down. Okay. I missed some stuff. We said we wanted to look at Tesla, correct? Oh my good. See, that's really good. That is really good. So what does this bar mean, right? We just talked a little bit about confirmations. And this is overall what I would consider more of a swing trade at this point, right? So what is happening here is you're getting confirmation from the RSI. You're potentially going to get in 16, 17 minutes confirmation with the price action, but you don't see that from the lagging indicator, the MACD yet, right? These big moves really cause the MACD to lag behind. So just be aware that two forms of confirmation, hey, you can make your own decisions. Just if you don't have all three, it can start to get riskier, but that doesn't mean that you can't be better off, right? If you know what you're doing, you understand your managing of the trade, if you understand how this could go wrong, well, then this might be the confirmation in the last 15 minutes you're looking for. And then we'll talk about, hey, this can fail. Notice that it is still by the center line on the 30 minutes. So that would be the chart to look at in case something would go wrong. And we do have portions of that throughout the course as well, but just so everyone's aware. Okay, Tesla looks very good. That is very nice. Doesn't mean it can't fail. Okay, it is still by that center line. It's still there. You're never going to be able to just avoid all risk. There will be risk to this, but I can tell you this looks like Tesla wants to start some kind of squeeze. All right, it can fail. We can get bad tariff news and it can fail, but now we're seeing volatility start to drop again. We're seeing the SPY start to produce that positivity. So we just have to see if the SPY can really get away from this center line down here and go positive. We want to see that burst. So you're still at risk of just seeing this and boom. So let's look at a 5 minute for just a bit here. That's a pretty damn good buy there. What's the volume on these two bars? Is it down? Oh, it's decreasing. Now, volume doesn't matter the most. You usually do squeeze on, say, lighter volume, but not something you want to see early on, right? You want to see great volume early on when you're getting these bigger moves, but that looks almost algorithmic, doesn't it? What settings do you use for MACD and RSI? Pretty much basic settings, and we even put the signal line on just a few months ago to help people understand confirmations a little bit better on the RSI. I think that's useful. Some people just treat the MACD crosses up. Did the RSI see that V shape too? Okay, it's crossed up. A lot of people wait for the RSI to cross the center line too because it's a little quicker. Yeah, so if you want to see MACD settings, boom, right there. You can see all these, pretty basic, right? Wait for time frame close. And then we'll go over to RSI, double click on that. And you'll see 14 close, SMA 14.2, wait for time frame close. So my MACD and RSI are measuring the closing of the bar. This is it's so close to being a good sign. It's strange to see this during retail hour. Are people getting... Yeah, we'll see what this does, but yeah, you violated the divergence on the RSI here, so the 5 minute might not help us out that much. We just want to see if this just starts to rotate back down. CSAI, I've already been checking on a few times. That's just going to be, day traders looking at 5 minutes. How do you know the time frame is 15 minutes from now? How do you... Sorry, ask one more time. Dollars for trading. What is it? How do you get a name to show up in red? I don't know. I actually don't know. Oh, you mean like a stock? Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I might be mishearing you. Would you mind looking at RH? I'll look at it on my other chart and then I'll pull it over if something is interesting. So usually when I look at my other chart, hey, just try to listen in for a sec and I'll see if anything's interesting. Okay, kind of interesting. Okay. So it's very similar to something that is seeing almost like a retrace, right? Pretty solid move. I wonder where this got to if it retraced down. Yeah, golden pocket. We chopped it for a second, went down into here. This isn't something I wanted to really get into too much, right? I don't want to confuse someone that's kind of new. But if this 2 hour crosses up, the question you need to ask yourself if you're seeing a 2 hour cross up is, where is it? And is this going to be a higher low? Well, you beat this, you made a high, right? You have a low, you made a high. If this confirms up on the 2 hour, you can take back that 5. You are very likely to go positive, right? You'll still pay attention if that fails, right? Always see if your trade is going wrong. But for the time being, if this 2-hour confirms up, this is a great level to get to. This is a great retrace type of move. Pretty damn controlled, right? Pretty controlled. And now you're breaking out. Pretty good. The RSI is confirming. The price action is confirming. The MACD is lagging behind. You'll see if that continues, but you can see pullbacks and things like that, even in little moves like this. You never want to just expect, oh, I buy it and then it goes straight up, right? So this is a good look, though. This is a good look. I'm going to look at the daily scale. So for the daily scale, this isn't the divergence being created. This is the daily scale trying to go up, probably to retest that 200. Yeah, probably to retest like 311 without having to make a divergence. But you always want to keep in mind, if a divergence isn't there and you're still negative, just be aware. That can always happen. And it could always not create the divergence, right? We like to take it when we actually see the buy come in. You're seeing the buy come in on the 2-hour, though. This looks like it can get a good 2-hour move to potentially take out this high, go make a new one. Some people might even say cup and handle here. And it really held up above the golden pocket, which is nice. Amazon is gone. What's Amazon doing? Bam! Oh, sorry, gave you a weekly expected move. My bad. Sometimes I do things on accident on purpose. Don't. Hey, I'll tell you what. Do not go back to that part and freeze frame it and see how Amazon touched a weekly expected move, okay? Don't do that, right? Sorry, I'm just having some fun here at the end here. I'm going to go for another 11 minutes, okay, guys? Yeah, Angus, it's going to be difficult. And it's taking back the 5-day, right? That little blue line. Oh, okay. That's perfect. That's all right. I don't see that. Everyone's gray in my my streaming service. So Amazon big flag could be a trap. Hey, your facts. Is that 2-hour curled up yet for Amazon? Nope. Is the 30-minute in positive territory and just ripping? Ripping? Nope. Still negative. Still below the 5. So it ain't over yet. I haven't gone through the course, but it is reasonably price target at the top of the weekly expected move. Yeah, so weekly expected moves can be used as a price target. That is a topic we talk about, Remy. But yeah, once you start to really understand them, and you have to understand environments and make sure that's the goal for your trade, right? If you didn't want to miss out, you need to understand if a squeeze or a crash would happen, you can violate weekly and even monthly expected moves. But what we like to say a lot of the time is this is decision-making areas, right? This is a decision-making zone. Am I going to see if something crazy happens? Or, am I going to assume all of the risk? Or am I going to hedge? Am I going to sell half and then leave the runners to, if this boomed up to here, would you go, oh, that's some good profit? Do you like the amount of money? And then you would go, okay, maybe I would sell half and then I would see if the other half can get to the monthly expected move in the next couple of weeks. How much time do you have to expiration, right? There's a million different things that can happen. And that's why I don't know what your trade is and stuff like that. We've been saying that a lot lately because people have been really asking like, hey, when will this go up and on this date? It's just a bad idea to try to do that because I don't know how you manage money. I don't know how much money you have. I just don't know enough. So the way that we utilize these moves, though, is it's decision-making time. Am I going to sell everything? Do I like the amount? Am I going to sell half and leave some runners? Am I going to hedge this and keep it, right? Hedge for a pullback, and then maybe we see more upside. A lot of ways to do it. Selling half and holding for the fun and moving stop loss to break even is one of the best strategies as long as the first profit equals the risk. You're talking about something that I like to do, which is I like to sell when I can break even with a good, decent amount, right? I want to see a good profit, and then I like to potentially even just break even, especially in a squeeze-like time, and then I'll leave those runners, right? But you'll notice it's about half the time I'll do something like that. Half the time I'll just take 100% profit because I'm like, I like the amount of money. One contract, 16 cents to 93 cents done for today. That is a freaking trade, my friend. Yeah, so I would read Northwestern Canopy's development, right? Read that comment again. All right, Remy, read that one comment right above yours. Read it again. Because that's not a bad idea. If you're someone who says, "Oh, I'm missing out on the big move," well, it might mean, hey, you're not going to make for sure 100% of that value right now. But if you're still seeing things correct and your management of the trade isn't really telling you like, hey, this is turning down, there's risk here, there's more risk of downside than upside. I don't see a reversal signal from volatility. All those things, there's a lot to it. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to a decision based on, do you like the amount of money, or would you like to see if some runners? And you don't have to just sell half, right? What I do a lot of the time too is if I have 10 contracts, I might sell 8, leave 2. That way I make money on the play, right? There's so many different ways to make decisions that you're going to have to probably figure out how you like to make those decisions. You see the rest of the trade above Luke? Wait, one contract. Where's the rest of it? Woo, stopped out. Oh, sorry, I did not read this. 800% on IWM from 3 cents to 46. 8 contracts, small risk, big reward. Yeah, small risk, but man, you're still assuming some risk there, right? Because it's only 3 cents. You could lose 30% just from a cent drop. But doing it at the right times, Chris, you notice that those start to look less risky to you. That's what you're pointing out. You're like, I know these are risky options to take, but they're less risky right now because of my analysis. And I think that's awesome. Amazon is pumping a little bit there. Very nice. We love to see it, Amazon. Thanks, buddy. Take a look over here. Ooh, we're looking good in the neighborhood. Love it. Love it or list it. Love it. Beauty. But that's a good thing. It's breaking out of that slow buying for Amazon, which is great. That's a very good breakout moment. Filling the gap, still aware if that 30-minute turns down. It's still negative. Trailed it all the way up with 10% trailing stop loss to the close. So you were really focusing on it. That's awesome. Anyone into ad tech investing such as App11? Still think 30-minute diverse on 30-minute SPY. Dimitri, I appreciate you saying that, because is the SPY positive on the 30-minute? We're really zoomed into this MACD, or is it at the exact level where a big trick trap could happen? It's true. That was a buy candle for Amazon. Let's look at that 2 hour. I haven't looked at the 2 hour for Amazon. That is a RSI confirming, price action confirming in the last bit of the bar. 2 hour, at least for your RSI and your price action, is saying, hey, in about 3.5 minutes, Amazon's good. But I like to have 3 to 5 reasons for a trade, right? Now, there's plenty of reasons for Amazon here, right? The touch of the weekly expected move. And then you just say, okay, if that curls down on the 30-minute, I'm prepared, right? It's that one's pretty simple to me. Can we still reverse after closing above 200 on, above the 200 on the spot? Are you talking about here or the 200, like here? Yes, you can. You never want to assume you can't do anything. Anytime you're asking, can this happen? The answer is yes. All that has to happen is one big dude hits a big sell while no one's buying and this thing turns back down. It can happen. Is it probable to happen? Well, it's very probable for the day to see resistance at 565.11. So if you go outside of that and break above this little white line here, which is your 200 on the 30, you can reject. This could be the trick and trap right there. But if you can burst through that, we get that good news. That's more what we're looking for. Yeah, I'm hoping for $100 drop for my boy over there, Steve. Oh, stop giving. What's these small things? No, I'm just playing. It's, yeah, still 270, 260, 250 for me. 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 250 for Would I buy long here? Well, I've already been buying long throughout the last, like, what, 5 trading sessions. So yeah. I mean, I've already so I'm not buying again right now because I'm already scaled in pretty good. And the only reason that I was in is 30-minute divergence. Like if this is a fake out. Yeah. So it's like, would I buy long here? I already am long here. That's the way to phrase it. I've been going long for days building the position. I'm trying to give you guys a good amount of value this morning, just because we might have some issues in tonight's video. I'm so dumb. I sold my SPY 560 call at the lows. What? What? Okay, let's talk about that decision making. Now, here's the thing. Tyler, I want to tell you something right now. Tyler, I want to tell you something right now. That could have been a good decision. I'm not going to tell you. Here's the thing, Tyler. The reason you're feeling this way. I was losing money and I was freaking out. Exactly. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you. That could have been a good decision. You don't know until hindsight, right? What you were thinking was, and maybe it was a little hasty, maybe the risk was getting too big for you, so you made a decision for yourself to feel more comfortable, right? But in hindsight now, you're beating yourself up, right? You had no idea, besides the daily expected move that we could likely bounce from, you had no idea, right? Now look at this. Here's the thing, Tyler. Later today, you could look at the stock market and it could look like that. And then you're going to switch immediately and think the opposite way. Okay? Here's what I would say. Did your plan to manage your trade actually happen? Tyler, tell me that. Did you have a plan for if your trade went wrong? And did it actually go wrong? Or did you make a hasty decision? Because you felt a type of way. And I totally understand selling something if you feel a type of way. We're freaking human. I get it. Yes, it went wrong. You followed your plan. Right? This could just be a blip for you. If you're following your plan, it went wrong. That is perfectly fine. This is what you're deciding to do. Now, if it continues to go wrong consistently, your management of the trade, and you keep missing out on things, you might want to revise your plan. And also, I like what Aaron said. Don't trade an amount that you're going to just freak out about. I've been holding out for days. I has been holding out for days. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. I totally get it. Totally get it. And it seems like at the end of the day, looking in hindsight, you're going to go, man, that was a bad decision. But if this ends up in the downward direction and we make a 30-minute divergence, are you still going to say that? Okay, but I totally understand when you're holding on to something for days and then you keep looking at it and you're just going, it's getting worse, you know? And maybe that is a good time to just say, hey, I am going to cut the loss. I'm going to refresh here. I'm going to go upstairs, drink a glass of water, not look at charts for like 10, 15 minutes at least, right? Give myself a little break, and then I'm going to come back. Okay? It happens to all of us. Yeah, we got to figure it out. And that's all it is. Stay in the game, figure it out. How dated are your options? Are you doing longer out ones, Tyler? Like how long from today was it, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to answer. A few days. Okay. I'm just going to have you think about it. Think about trying to extend it a little bit. That way you're a little more comfortable. My account can't afford longer right now. Okay. Okay. That makes total sense. It makes total sense. I totally get it. And I'm just asking, what do you think about the decision to maybe not trade for a period of time? Do you have a way to get cash flow? You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean once I get the cash, I do it. Maybe extending out those hours and saving an amount of money to where you can actually utilize a small percentage of that to options. You know, that's all I'm saying. But I don't know anything, fully about it, Tyler, but I'm just trying to put ideas out there, buddy. I'm trying to put ideas out there. Can we save to build that cushion to keep us in the game? Can we save for 6 months straight without even, still maybe practicing by looking at charts and drawing up where you think it'll go or how it will behave? Hey, this weekly expected move, and mark that point and be like, this is where I would take profit, and then see it hit that line and sell off from it and be like, boom, I can mark that as a good decision. Okay. You don't have to risk money to practice making good decisions. Okay. And then if you have that cushion, if something goes wrong and you're only using 5% for the trades, you still have 95% of your cash left over if you want to keep doing the game. Maybe the game, you get sick of it and you go, I still have money now to invest instead, right? That kind of thing. I appreciate you telling us, Tyler. That is a very honest thing to do, and a lot of people can't even type that out. So I appreciate it, man. You're good at owning up to your mistakes, and that is a very good sign. That is a good thing to be. Whether it's, you make it in trading or not, it's a good thing to be as a human being, to be able to admit to your mistakes. I would say, especially as a man. I would definitely say that from my perspective as a dad and a man and a husband. Very important. And sometimes you don't even make a mistake and you just take the high road, right? Would I rather have an argument with my wife, or would I rather win an argument and piss off my wife, or would I rather concede and just be like, hey, this is silly. Let's go get dinner. Let's go get dinner. Get a little frisky. All right. Yeah, see, it happens to everyone, guys, and I totally understand. It's very difficult. I actually bought an IW on call right after, and now it's up 80%. Okay, awesome. Now, don't think you're getting it back, okay? Don't think I'm going to get this back. Think I want to make this trade a good one. It is very important, Tyler, and I'm not even saying like, oh, the squeeze and make tons of money and do all this. Put yourself back in a positive trend, my friend. Take a win eventually. Take a win. Things pile on. They always say, hey, bad things happen in threes, right? We go through cyclical things in our life where negative things happen a lot because we get in that negative loop. If you want to research it, look up on Google negative loop. All right? And what you want to do is shift yourself into a positive loop, which means you need to start with a win. Start with something positive, right? Win at all costs, Jeremiah. Oh, God. I don't know about that. Well, win at all costs. I don't know about that. But that probably isn't the worst mentality to have. You could have 99 trades go wrong and 1 go right, and guess what? You're pretty much Warren Buffett at that point. I believe it was 97% of Warren Buffett's investments failed, but 3% made him all his money. And I don't think it was 97% failed, but 97% of them were dragging, and 3% of them made him all his money. Right? It's probably a little different now if you look at it, but that's how it was back in the day for him. Yeah, revenge trade, Tony. I like that. That's a good way to put it. If it's day trading, long-term trades, less so. Okay, awesome. I understand the revenge trade thing is not necessarily something I want to do. Same stocks to make big moves up. It's going to feel like playing baseball. It's going to feel like playing baseball, except you can have the worst batting average in the world, and the team will still keep you in the game because they know you hit 1 home run out of 10 swings. If you can just hit 1 home run out of 10 swings, they'd probably play you. All right, guys. Now, I do want to stick around with you guys. I really do. Maybe take a look at that storm that's coming. It's apparently going to be pretty serious. We do see 5-minute potential divergence here for a MACD, but notice it is not on the RSI at the same time. So don't think this has to turn down a 30. The big signal is like, how am I going to react if this 30-minute actually does confirm down? If I start to break through the daily expected move, if we start to sweep this low, right? That's the risk I think going on here. We got the down move first, up move next. Do we get this to sweep the low? And do we create divergence? Or is Tesla and other stocks saying, yeah, we're just going to go? That's very possible. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. I wish I could stick around longer. I stayed for as long as I could. I know I said like, oh, 10:10, 10:15, 10:30. For me, you're right, it's 10:40 here now. So I really appreciate you guys being here today. I appreciate you guys asking some great questions. If you think it's a stupid question, there's no such thing, right? We might giggle about it a little bit because we've been here longer than you, but there's no stupid question. I'm sure I ask stupid questions to my own chat all the time. What's a K reversal, you know? So I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys come join us for the Rumble stream later. I will try to let you know if, say, the storm just starts up all of a sudden, but I think it's supposed to be tonight. So we should be good to go on Rumble. The link is down in the description if you would like to join us later today. Thank you guys for wishing me and my family a safe night's sleep. We might be sleeping in the basement, right? But that's okay with us as long as we're safe. As long as we can stay in the game, right? Survivability, that comes to, I got to survive through maybe a tornado in order to keep trading. And that's perfectly fine with me because I'm a survivable kind of guy. All right. Peace out, guys. I hope you guys have a great, great day ahead of you. And I will see you later on Rumble as long as everything goes smoothly. See you guys. Have a good one. Peace out.